Hey, what's T YouTube fam? It's your girl TK. Look, I really wanted to get online real quick and talk to you guys about Donald Trump. Now, before I get into talking to you guys about this video right here, I want to tell you, yesterday I got online and I'm like, oh, Felicia, did you guys hear that Donald Trump actually was going through a termination? And it got so bad that he had to request a stay within the U.S. Supreme Court. Unfortunately, the U.S. Supreme Court was not going to allow him to go through with his stay. Now, the case request for his stay, the case number I should be seeing is 20 as an apple 63. So if you guys ever want to check out that termination, you should definitely check out that stay request within the U.S. Supreme Court. Excuse me. Now, I also wanted to present something to you guys that I saw online within Donald Trump's cases, because he has a slew of cases that happened in the year of 2021. And this case right here is Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Now, one of the things I found interesting about the Donald Trump versus Joe Biden case is that he went to the U.S. Supreme Court and was asking how are presidents basically elected. And he wanted to review the U.S. Constitution because he wanted to make sure that if a president is elected, they are following the U.S. Constitution. You know, you just can't just say you are a monarch, for example. You have to go through the U.S. Constitution. And he wanted to make sure that the U.S. Constitution is being followed in its totality. So if you're interested in this case, it is 20882. So you can check that out. Now, there's three questions that Donald Trump was presenting to Joe Biden, or I should be saying to the U.S. Supreme Court. The first one was Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, as well as the 14th and the 15th Amendment, violated when the legislator stated that ballots may not be counted? So he wanted to know, was the Constitution, the 14th and the 15th Amendment, being violated? The second thing that he brought to the U.S. Supreme Court was whether the U.S. Supreme Court violated Article 2 regarding absentee ballots, which state that envelopes must contain all statutorily required information and may not be altered once delivered. So not only are they talking about ballots, but they're also now talking about absentee votes, you know? And again, this is talking about election. Number three. The next thing that they talked about was, should the U.S. Supreme Court set aside electoral results as not produced in the manner directed by the legislator, and hence as failed with the meaning of 3 U.S.C. 2, thus affording the Wisconsin legislator explicit statutory authority to appoint presidential electors to represent Wisconsin? So in a synopsis, what Donald Trump was really trying to understand was how our presidents are elected. And if a president is elected, how are we going to ensure that the U.S. Constitution is going to be continuously being followed? You know, see, Donald Trump was already going through termination. He knew that he was going to go through termination. He was already in court regarding this situation. So when he's like, oh, it's Joe Biden. No, it wasn't Joe Biden that said you had to be released from your job. It was actually the U.S. Supreme Court that said you had to follow basically what was going to be given to you by your officials, or what they are saying that they wanted you to abide by, and that was to be released from office. So if Donald Trump did not leave, he was definitely going to be faced with termination. And Donald Trump was actually requesting a stay within his position. Anyhow, guys, I thought that was definitely giving interesting, because it just was interesting. And also, guys, I want you guys to note that if you are interested in the U.S. Supreme Court and what they're saying, you definitely can check out the U.S. Supreme Court's website, because, you know, it's a lot of information. And honestly, I still have not went through and read a lot of that information. But I did go and read the questions specifically and see what they're talking about and sharing with you guys. I wanted to make sure that I share this information with you guys because sharing is caring. And y'all know me, I absolutely care. So with that being noted, pay attention to laws, rules, and regulations because you don't know when, where, and or how it might impact your life. It is so imperative that you guys just know what's going on out here. Know what's going on. You know, Donald Trump, he likes to say Joe Biden this, Joe Biden. He just was basically removing me from my position. No, the U.S. Supreme Court said you could not stay in that position. If you continue to stay, your ass was going to be terminated from that position. And you had a certain amount of time to be in that position. So he was definitely requesting to stay within his job. Anyhow, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about what Joe Biden and Donald Trump was recently going through within the U.S. Supreme Court. I thought it was giving interesting, and I'm sure you would think the same thing. So if you have a chance, please go and watch the U.S. Supreme Court or go to the U.S. Supreme Court website, supremecourt.gov, and do a docket search and use the case that I did give to you guys, that I did provide to you guys regarding Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And you will see that the information that I was providing to you is accurate. Again, this isn't no misleading information. This information is coming straight from the U.S. Supreme Court. Use it, and learn what's out there and available for you to understand just about what's going on within our world. Peace, love, and happiness, guys. Bye.